in the EYT Media offices with Clarion County Treasurer candidate Rose Logue. Rose, first, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Chris.
If you're elected treasurer, what would be your #1 priority in the office?
My #1 priority would be to continue on with the good work that Tess Snyder has been doing. And of course, as you might not know, Tess is retiring after being the treasurer for 24 years, and her assistant, Karen Woolbert, has been there for as long as Tess has been there. So it's going to be important that the new treasurer also learns basically the work of 2 jobs, because they're going to be the only person in that office. So the first job would be to follow and to continue on with what Tess is doing. And the next thing would be to search for and hire a qualified candidate for the deputy treasurer. And then with that, you need to learn that job as well and train that person and supervise them.
What are some of the things that can be done to maybe make the treasurer's office more streamlined, maybe easier to use?
Well, I have gone out and looked at different websites of different treasurers and reached out to other county treasurers, in particular Lancaster. They have a really nice website that has more information on it, more concise for people to do things like get their dog license, and also help with information on the hunting license as well. So there's things like that, and I think too, if you've gone out and looked at the treasurer's homepage, it really doesn't contain a lot of information. So I think it would be very important for people to understand what does happen in the treasurer's office, that it lists the responsibilities so people have a better understanding of what they can come into the treasurer's office and get. And also it would be important to have a link to the dog license site on the web page, because the treasurer and the county, we receive the $1.50 for each dog license, regardless if somebody buys their dog license from the website instead of coming physically into the treasurer's office to purchase it. So it would be a way to up our revenues on that as well.
So that means if people go to the website with the dog licenses, they can use their credit cards and stuff to buy them?
Yes,
okay,
they could do that.
I'm wondering if people even realize that. So.
Well, I do think they could use their credit card. Now, I do know that, you know, the other candidate was talking about maybe doing a debit credit card, and I talked to Tess about that because I was wondering, as some other small businesses think about moving in that direction. But it all depends, because sometimes I was talking to the lady that runs Flowers and Bows, and if people want to come in there and purchase something like for $5 or $10, which a dog license is very inexpensive, if we would implement something like that, we might have to put a surcharge on of like $2.95, which might not really make sense, because somebody's not going to come in and purchase something for $6 and have a surcharge placed on it of $2.95 and increase their cost by 50%. But it might be for convenience, so that is something that I would definitely look into. The other thing I was thinking about looking into is, whenever I was tax collector for the school district, I did the actual electronic scan of the checks. So as somebody would come in and pay me, I could scan their check in and send it directly into the bank, which helps with, you know, it helps with getting the money into the accounts faster. It also helps with security, because you don't have a lot of checks. It also helps with what Tess was telling me, is that some of the banks have a limit on how many checks you can process a day, and then they start charging you. So it would be a way to kind of alleviate that, and also save time in actually going up to the bank and spending the time away from the office, and make it more open and more people can come in. And also I was thinking about ideas of having the office open maybe later in the evening to make people to come and get their dog license or whatever they need, because a lot of people are working 9-to-5 jobs, or be open on a Saturday or something like that, because especially, you know, you're going to be in there working, and it would just be a time whenever they could come in and make it more accessible to people to come in and sell stuff.
What are some of the experiences you have in managing budgets on the scale of what a county budget would have to have?
That is where I exceedingly am above what my opponent has. I currently, just on the tax collecting side, I collect over $4 million each year. I've done that for 10 years. That gets collected, it gets distributed out to the county and to the borough and to the school district. I've audited on that. You have to account for every penny on that, and I've always had clean audits. I also, at Clarion University now, I manage budgets of over $30 million, which is, you know, it could be 14 to 18 million on the county side. So over twice that of the county budget. So I'm definitely have a lot of experience, 15 years of experience on that, 10 years on that on the tax collector side.
One of the things that you bring up, and I guess it hits me a little bit when you bring it up because I'm not originally from Clarion County, and you talk about him not being a native of Clarion County and you being a native of Clarion County and your opponent not owning a home. Why do you feel that those things are important in an election like this?
Well, I believe it's important because I can understand, because I've lived in Clarion County for 54 years. I went to school in Clarion County. I paid property taxes in Clarion County. I understand Clarion County. I also have raised children in Clarion County, have been schooled in Clarion County. They attended schools at Clarion County, and my children are going to, my one daughter already got a job after graduation, which was very nice because, you know, jobs are not easy to come by, and she's working in Clarion County. I really don't have an issue with, he's not from Clarion County. I think it's great. We need to have people come to Clarion County and do that. I think my issue is, I think that, I don't know if people realize how much the Clarion County Treasurer is paid, but it's over $50,000 a year. So it's almost like for somebody to think that they can graduate from Clarion University, work a full-time job less than a year, that's an entry-level job, and somehow come in and take, you know, a high-paying job like that whenever they don't have the experience and stuff. That's where I think it kind of comes into that. Because I think it's great that he's staying in Clarion County.
Well, Rose, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it, and good luck in the election.
Okay, thank you, Chris.